Hey there, South Jersey. I'm Meteorologist Joe Martucci. Hope you're all having a great Saturday and hope you're enjoying the weekend. Hopefully you're reading this somewhere outside. But what I want to do here is talk a little bit about Hurricane Dorian and its potential impacts on the area here in South Jersey. Now, we are not expecting a direct landfall, but there is potential for some concern as we go later into next week. So this is going to be a mostly New Jersey-centric video, though we are going to touch on where it is right now and where it's going to go over the next couple of days. We look at our satellite right now. You see a really well-defined eye here with Hurricane Dorian. It is moving to the west, as we have seen for the past couple of days, and it is going to get into the Bahamas, and it is going to bring probably a good amount of devastation there as well, and there are hurricane warnings and effects for there. Now, notice on the western side of the eye, there's not as much of those bright whites or those colors as we see on the eastern side. There's still a little bit of shear, which is helping to pull apart that storm, but it's still a very healthy storm, unfortunately. 150-mile-an-hour winds. That is a Category 4 hurricane, borderline Category 5. It will be moving to the west, and notice the shift in the cone of uncertainty. This is the biggest development overnight into this morning. It is very possible that it doesn't even make landfall in Florida and hugs the coast. Still brings a lot of devastating impacts in terms of storm surge, coastal flooding, as well as a lot of rain and wind. However, no direct or devastating impacts, especially on the west coast of Florida. However, that means that threat gets shifted somewhere else, and in this case, into the Carolinas, where there has always been the potential to see a landfall in the Carolinas, just that we have been narrowing down on that solution now. As we look at the rest of the Atlantic, we have two other storms to worry about. One over the coast of Africa, and another one in between the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba. They're not named systems yet. They're not even tropical depressions, but they are areas of interest. This is the Hurricane Dorian track guidance. Notice Cape May County right there where my mouse is. None of the tracks take it directly to South Jersey, and it is hard to get a direct landfall in South Jersey, but they do kind of turn to the north and to the northeast, and you see good guidance here trying to just skirt North Carolina, and really a lot of the model solutions have backed away from a Floridian landfall and even really anything south of North Carolina. What is steering this storm and what is going to bring the potential impacts into New Jersey is how this storm interacts with high pressure, or these oranges you see to the north and east of the storm and to the north and west. So what I'm going to do is go forward a little bit. This starts tomorrow. Now we're getting into Monday here. Notice it's kind of blocked. See this line here? It can't pass through that line. At the same time, it can't really pass through this 588 line you see here that is associated with that high pressure. That's the thickness of the atmosphere, that 588. But as we go into Tuesday, there's an opening. There's no oranges anymore to the north or to the northeast. That allows it to turn to the north, and it does just that. Now, it still gets blocked a little bit from moving fully northward as we go into the 4th, but we look to see it, and this solution, which is the GFS model, wants to take it very close to South Carolina. Now what I'm going to do is flip over to the surface anomalies. Low pressures in blue, high pressures in red. This is for Wednesday. Look what's going to happen. Now, if these blues weren't here, it has a shot really to go directly north into the area. However, the question and what this model is showing right now is it actually going to get pulled away by this low pressure system here and then eventually booted out by the high pressure system that's moving into the Great Lakes states? Notice here on the GFS model, it pushes it safely out to sea, where we might see maybe 12 hours of rain. You're definitely going to see some coastal flooding, but not extreme impacts, more of your low-grade nor'easter, and then eventually kind of hangs out and then goes and produces a nasty gale into eastern Canada. I'm going to go back, though, again. Let's say, for example, this high-pressure system is even faster. Well, then we're really just talking about maybe a cloudy day for you sometime in that next Thursday to Saturday time period with some high surf, with maybe a little bit of coastal flooding, but nothing extreme, and really no rain. If this is to be slower, then what could happen is that this goes up north. Watch where my mouse is. Goes up north, really cuts the coast close here, and you're seeing something a la Irene or a la Floyd. That is not likely. The most likely scenario is probably what this has here, where it pushes it out just in time to spare us from the most severe impacts. And we're talking about a low-grade nor'easter next Thursday or Friday or next Saturday here. So we are still plenty of days away, and there's time to prepare. What I want to tell you is if you go to our weather center and you go to hurricanes, you see a lot of good information. You see galleries about our most notable storms and events, some weather-wise, including a good one right here, why we're one of the safest when it comes to landfall. And you can find that at pressofac.com/weather. So just to recap for you here, in terms of Dorian, no immediate impacts to New Jersey besides some high surf that develops on Monday. We will be seeing minor flood stage at times with the high tides pretty much all next week. That's just nuisance flooding. If we were to see any more severe impacts, it's next Thursday to Saturday. As of this time, I am leaning towards what I would call a low-end nor'easter. Some wind, some rain, not a lot of damage, if any. We could probably get a cycle of moderate coastal flooding at some point during that time. We will keep you updated again, pressofac.com/weather. Enjoy the rest of Labor Day weekend.